Yeah.
Welcome everybody. My name's Chris Purdy. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Chamberlain Network. Thank you all for being here. I'm very excited about this event. We started this project a few months ago, and so far we've gotten people from every state in the country, Puerto Rico, Washington D.C. And we're all here. We're all going to be gathering on the mall on Friday in response to the federal layoffs, the various firings, budget cuts, and really, the effort to dismantle the promise that America made to its veterans. And so we're here tonight to kind of talk to you about what to expect. We're going to have some good information on where to go, what to wear, some weather information. And that's going to be tonight. And then what we are all asking you to do when you go out in tonight and tomorrow and the next day is to spread the word because we really want to see tens of thousands of American veterans on the mall. So, a few housekeeping notes. This meeting is being recorded. So if you're unable to attend, if one of your friends can't make it, these will all be shared by email. And there have been some questions that have been submitted in advance. And so we've done as best as we can to get as many of those questions done as possible in the course of this hour. But if you do have questions remaining, just remember we have a Q&A box, and we have a few members on this team who will be able to answer questions live in the Q&A box. And if we don't get to your questions, you can look at our frequently asked questions page on our website. You can also reach out to us at info@uniteforvets.org. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot of time for some direct back and forth. It's regrettable, just with hundreds of people on this call. That's where we're at. So please use that Q&A the Q&A function in the chat, and we'll go from there. And I'm going to kick this over to our fearless leader, who's really the best looking guy in the bunch, I gotta say, is Will Addict. Sorry, Fred. I know, but Will's got it. So, Will, why don't you kick us off here and get us going?
No, I'm pretty overwhelmed. I'm looking at a poster on screen just right down the street from my office, right across from the VA headquarters, that is telling VA workers that they have a place to come to on Friday, that they're supported. My name is Will Addick. I'm the executive director of the Union Veterans Council at the AFL-CIO. We're a labor organization that represents over 1 million veterans across the country. A ton of them are federal workers, and what I'm really proud about is I've been doing a lot of organizing, right? And usually when you get a call for folks to get on a webinar a couple of days in advance, you might have 25, 35, 45 people. We're well over the 200 mark right now. So I want to give a hats off to everyone who helped organize this call and the people who showed up. But we have to be really honest with ourselves right now. The last 100 days have been pretty dramatic when it comes to the veterans community. From the people who work to support us to our entire community, people are paying attention. There's a sense of urgency right now, that we're not sure what our benefits, what the support for the veterans community, the promises that people made to us as we went off to war. When we raised our right hand and said we're going to support the Constitution of the United States of America, we're not very sure how many of those promises are going to be fulfilled. Because of the rhetoric that's coming from the administration and from politicians in Washington, D.C. for the last 100 days. So the whole point of this operation, this whole point of this rally, was to not yell about something that's happened, not talk about a what if, but just simply show up to Washington, D.C. and say, you know what, we are veterans. We are a united group of Americans who have served our country. And if you want to attack the systems and the benefits that we've been promised and that support the community that defends this country, we want to say something about that. And that's not a story that just started today, right? This is not some newfangled idea. Veterans have been on the forefront of every action in American history. From the very beginnings, our Revolutionary War, to the Civil War, to veterans coming home from World War I being denied their benefits, and forming the bonus army, the March on Washington, D.C. to say, enough's enough. We were promised a bonus. We were promised benefits. We served our country. We left America when we were young kids. We lost young adulthood development. We didn't work in factories. We didn't get skills, but we served our country. We deserve a leg up. We deserve the ability to live the American dream we fought for. Those veterans were denied. Those veterans were told that their service was not worthy of a bonus to give them financial stability. That led to a complete reevaluation of how we support our veterans in this country. It led to the GI Bill, it led to the VA healthcare system, but still, veterans had to fight. We had to fight for cancer care for Vietnam veterans when they came home. But Vietnam veterans were left behind, right? No one was passing bills for them. We had to fight for that, right? We had to fight for Gulf War syndrome. We had to fight for the reality that veterans that served in the Gulf War had problems. And then just a few years ago, we had to sleep on the Capitol steps to make sure we passed a bill called the PACT Act to support our veterans of this generation of the global war on terror, to make sure that they have cancer care, they have the ability to live their lives. So what we will not stand by and say is that if you're going to attack our VA system, if you're going to attack our benefits, you're going to attack hundreds of thousands of workers who work in this country that are veterans, we're going to talk about it. We're going to yell about it. We're going to come to Washington, D.C. We're going to throw a party to let folks know that this is just a start. That if you think that this is the end of it, it's not. We are throwing a party. We're having an amazing rock show that folks are going to talk about. We have amazing speakers. But the most important part is the message that America is united around veterans, and we're ready to fight back. And I'm hoping this is the first of many. But with that, I'm gonna kind of turn it over to the next segment of this. But look, I'm so proud of everyone who's signed up, everyone who's tweeted about this, who's shared it with their friends, because that's what we do. We stand up, we fight for our fellow veterans, and that's what's going to happen on June 6th. I'm really proud of this team who's able to make it happen, and the people who are showing up to make it really, really happen.
Looks like I'm up. Hi, guys. I'm Fred Wellman. I'm a 22-year Army veteran, graduate of West Point. I did 4 combat tours between Desert Storm and Iraq, retired in 2010. Spent a good part of my time after that as a veterans advocate. And that kind of tells you the story of how this group formed. About 2.5 months ago, just a couple, three of us, the most of them on this call were together, started kind of kicking around the idea of a new bonus army and our growing frustration with the attacks on veterans benefits, veterans healthcare occurring at the VA, our frustration with the number of veterans who are being dismissed from their federal jobs without any care to their futures or the service they gave to their countries, or the fact that our actual constitution has been under attack. And we want to hold our leaders accountable for those attacks, for the constitution that we all swore an oath up and uphold and defend multiple times in our careers. And so this coalesced into, hey, why don't you call up this guy? And then Will kind of took the lead and he started bringing him in. The next thing you know, there's I don't know how many there are of us now, Will, I couldn't tell you, but we're all volunteers. And we came together because we wanted to march for our brothers and sisters. And what you're seeing on the screen right now, you can go to our website and see, is we've been asking for those of you who are supporting this effort, are going to be attending, to write why you're marching, why you're coming to the rally, why you may be marching, not just in DC, but I think we have over 200 sister events now, which we've had nothing to do. This group said, we're going to organize Washington, D.C. We're going to organize it professionally. We're going to raise money against Washington, D.C. And then we've said to others, look, if you want to do a supporting thing, here's our mission statement. Here's why we're marching. So feel free to do your own. So our friends at Indivisible, at 5051, and others kind of stepped in. And now we're hearing there's almost 200 events nationwide. It's remarkable how a
202,
spark,
Fred. 202.
202. It was 171 yesterday. So there you go. Thank you, sir. It's remarkable how these things grow. And it's been kind of exciting for those of us on the inside, to be honest with you. I think a number of people here in the webinar know me. I'm marching because of what we just talked about. I've been in, obviously, a lot of you know me because I've kind of left the veterans answer world and went the politics side of it. And I've been watching with frustration the things that we work so hard to do. The Biden administration, the other, and before them, it passed the PACT Act. As my friend Will mentioned, we had to go to Capitol Hill. Our friends and sisters and brothers who served had to stand on Capitol Hill to force them to pass the PACT Act. And then finally we got it passed. That piece of legislation, the largest expansion of veterans healthcare, added over 1 million veterans to the benefits rolls. It added 750,000, got free cancer screenings. They added over 65,000 new employees to the VA. And honestly, when PACT Act passed, many of us were skeptical it would be executed and implemented smoothly, and instead it did. The VA did a great job, as well as you can think of, as that many people come pouring in with pre-approved conditions and backing it. And now we hear they want to cut 83,000 employees, literally take it back to pre-2020 levels for no good reason. And so there's to tell us who served and rely on VA healthcare that all these cuts aren't going to affect our healthcare in any way is obviously ridiculous. It's just, it defies common sense. So those of us said we're not going to do that. We're not going to let them quietly smile at us and lie to us as they strip our brothers and sisters of their rights and their benefits, the things they earn. So that's why I'm marching. I'm marching because I care. I have friends. That PACT Act's a perfect example. I didn't sign up for PACT Act originally. And one of my soldiers from Desert Storm called me up one day and goes, "You got to go back in to get your disability upgraded," because I went in and he had cancer. And he got 100% disability just from his cancer that he had. And he got quite a bit of money and healthcare out of it just in the drop of a hat on the newly automated website. It was much smoother to do. That's why we're marching, because we don't want to see the progress we've all fought so hard for to be just casually dismissed and rolled back for arbitrary reasons. So that's why I'm in this. That's why I'm doing these things. I think we would love to hear from you. The link is in the chat of how you can put your story in. You'll be hearing more of these on Friday, no doubt about it. But we'd love to hear from you. It matters. Obviously, this doesn't end on Friday. We've all of us are organized before. I see the wonderful question from our Vietnams for Peace, Veterans for Peace, a colleague. I saw your question, sir. A lot of your stuff's already been covered, to be honest with you, sir. We've really brought some pros together. This is not, you're not going to see a podium on a microphone sitting in the grass. I assure you of that. You're going to see a very professionally run rally on Friday, taking into account the best we can bring to the table with the people we have available to us. So if you want to sell us more, please go to the website. You can submit your Why We March story. We'd love to get more and more of them. We'd love to highlight them. Of course, it's going to go on after June 6th, so we'd love to see more of that. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to the logistics genius, the man who's done all the coordination, and a good friend of mine. Like, we're old friends. I knew Will from previous life at his AFL-CIO work. I've known George from my work at the GWAT Memorial, Global War and Terror Memorial. George, take it away. You're going to tell people how to get there and what to do.
Oh, actually, we're going to kick it over to Will first to do
Fine, back to Will.
Who's
Damn
joining us.
it.
Sorry, you got to let the NCOs take charge, Fred. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's Will. You're right. Will's on the see, this is why you can't trust officers to read the agenda. Will, you're back up.
Oh, we've lost your sound, Will.
Uh-oh, he's not up.
All right, we're going to give him 5 seconds, and then I'm going
Then we move on. That's it.
to execute the commander's intent here.
Yep. And Chris, you're up.
All right. Sorry, Will. We're moving on. We'll figure it out. But hey, we do have a great show coming up for us today. We've got some really, really great speakers lined up. The thing that was exciting to us about the speaker panels, we're not leaning heavily into elected officials. This is not an elected official event. There is one person that we thought was very important to speak because of what she has given to this country, and that's going to be Senator Tammy Duckworth. But everybody else, they're either former electeds or they're great leaders who have supported the veteran community through their activism in labor, through their activism in the post 9/11 veteran space. So you're going to see Everett Kelly, a U.S. Army veteran and president of the AFGE, Cecil Roberts, and also an Army veteran, president of the United Mine Workers of America. I mentioned our electeds, and that's going to be really exciting. But we're also so proud to announce that the new CEO of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, Kellyanne Hunter, will be there. IAVA is the organization that speaks for many post 9/11 veterans, and we couldn't have been so proud to have them stand with us. So Kellyanne is going to be there, as is Rear Admiral Mike Smith, who runs the National Security Leaders for America, a great organization that gives a voice to retired senior leaders and diplomats as they go out and speak on, for democracy and democratic values. And then another group that's I think near to our heart as a community is the Afghan community. A lot of veterans in the post 9/11 space. We served alongside interpreters in Iraq and Afghanistan, and this is a real clear example of how policies have affected us by not affecting us, right? So the Sean Van Diver, Navy veteran and founder and CEO of Afghan Evac, has been a real leader in supporting our Afghan allies who are at risk of removal right now under many of the policies coming out from the State Department and DHS. So we're proud to have him and that community speaking up. And then it couldn't be a show without a show. So if we can go to the next slide there, Amy. We're gonna have the Dropkick Murphys. This is when Will and George told us that Dropkick had come to us and said that they wanted to speak out and sing out on behalf of the veteran community. God, I felt so cool, right? Like how many of us were riding down the route in, wherever we were in our MRAP or a Humvee or whatever, blasting out, shipping up to Boston or any other of the Dropkick tracks that really were an anthem for our generation. And they've got a new album or a new single out that they're going to perform in a 30-minute set in the center of the show. And come to rock out, come to really kind of appreciate the music of this band that speaks for so many of us. So I'm so proud that they're out for us. They're just back from Ukraine, I think, and they're ready to rock and roll. With that, now we will go to the logistics expert, and that is George. So George.
Hey everyone, good evening. George Tuning, Army veteran, fought in Afghanistan before I served at the VA. Thank you so much for taking the time this evening, of course, for joining us Friday. Speaking of Friday, June 6th, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., National Mall, just north of the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. You see on this map, we'll of course share by email, more details, but that's where we're going to be, center of the mall, middle of a Friday, getting everybody out to rock out and to support veterans and their families. So how to get there? Several metro stations. So those of you familiar with the DC area, it'd be pretty straightforward. People traveling in, there are a variety of ways to get there based on what metro you're taking. Closest metro stations are Smithsonian at 12th Street on the mall, LaFont Plaza on Maryland Avenue and 7th Street Southwest, and of course Archives Navy Memorial at Pennsylvania Ave and 7th Street Northwest. If you're coming from DCA, Yellow Line is the easiest. From IAD or Dulles, Silver Line is the most convenient. And from MARC or Amtrak to Union Station, we are walking distance from those. And then finally, for folks that need special assistance or otherwise, Uber and Lyft drop-off is recommended, and they will take you right to the mall where we are on there. What to bring? So, of course, the essentials. It will be pretty warm. So if you're like me, sun protection is a must. Bottled water, snacks, comfortable shoes. It will be a concert. So people will be standing around, rocking out, supporting their fellow veterans. So just dress appropriately for that. Show your pride. This is really a celebration in addition to a protest. So please bring American flags. Please bring your unit flags. Please wear your unit t-shirts, hats, anything you have to show off being a veteran, supporting your fellow veterans. We will have signs available. You'll see some of them at the bottom of the slide. Every slide will have one of our slogans or our goals, but on the back will be an American flag. So we really hope for, really any picture you take during the event on the mall, American flags will be in it, really taking back that symbol and showing who we are. Just to really emphasize also, this is a peaceful event. This is not, something that the certain groups may try to portray it as. So please avoid bringing any signs or shirts that don't reflect that peaceful or productive message. We are in the right. We know what is right and what is wrong. And so let's show that on the mall together, and not draw negative attention that may derail our message. For accessibility needs, so we do have an ADA entrance, and we will send out this link to everybody as well. It's the exact kind of coordinates on Google Map. So if you need that assistance, please feel free to use that entrance. There's a convenient drop-off point for Uber or family, and we'll also have an in-person American Sign Language translator or interpreter for folks that need it in a special area as well. So please feel free to make yourselves known and use that entrance. Service animals, of course, encouraged, but we kindly ask that non-service animals remain at home. So as I mentioned, DC can be hot. We're projecting upper 80s, and those familiar or have been to DC before, that includes a lot of humidity, so it will be warm. So please,
120% humidity.
yeah, yeah, it'll feel like you're swimming as you're dancing and walking. So please be prepared for that. We will have cooling tents for those that need it, and bottled water on site as well. That being said, if you or a friend or somebody near you, battle buddy, needs assistance, please find somebody in a red volunteer t-shirt, or direct them to the marked medical or cooling tent. As always, if you see something, please say something. You know, we are cognizant of people that may not agree with our gathering or our remarks, so please be prepared to bring that to the attention of volunteers or security that we also will have on site. And finally, for me, you know, we are still looking for a few volunteers, you know, everything from helping with the medical tent or helping check people in or directing ADA folks. And so we'll be sharing a link in the chat. Please feel free to sign up if you would like to volunteer. Of course, we would greatly appreciate it. And thank you again for all taking the time, and we're excited to see you on Friday.
Just a note on that one, George. The volunteer team, I think the brief is at 10 o'clock, right? So
That's great.
they're going to be a little earlier. So if you sign up quickly. If you want volunteers, our volunteer coordinators really looking for more folks, kind of help with crowd control and talk to folks. Plus, you get cool merch. I mean, come on now. But that will be an earlier morning, about 10 a.m. So pace yourself if you can't stand for 6 to 8 hours.
Thanks for.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's just a good snapshot of the weather. Be prepared, but it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks, y'all.
He,
It is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, everybody. Pete Lucier. I am a Marine Corps veteran. I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri. I am flying to DC tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm so excited to do this thing. So, how can you support? Obviously, first and foremost, show up. I hope a lot of you on this call are going to be there in DC with us. I've heard all these people talking about the signs that they're going to bring. I'm so excited to see everybody's signs and creativity and just make your voices heard. So show up. All the details are there. We're trying to make sure you cannot miss them, but always just check the website. Everything you need is going to be on there. So please show up. Two, yeah, get loud on social. I'm a social media hound myself, but even if you're not, get on there, use the hashtags on the website. There are all kinds of great tools to make it super easy, even if you're not social media savvy. We have social media toolkits. We have this really great tech tool called Socia, where you can just click and post. All the visibility, all the attention that it brings, it just means our voices and the message that we're bringing on Friday are going to matter that much more. That many more people are going to be paying attention. So please, if you haven't signed up on the website, sign up so we can get you that email and all those toolkits. If you haven't shared on social, please share on social. Next slide. If you can't join in person, I saw one of these in the chat. First of all, there are solidarity events all over the place. You can look up and see if there's one going on near you. If there isn't one and you want to start one, we've got a great toolkit to help you host your rally in your own hometown. Or if you really want to see a Dropkick Murphy, on our website, it's the Unite for Veterans, and then it's Watch Live. You're going to be able to watch the whole thing. There's Valor Media Network is our great live streaming partner. It's going to be an incredible show. They do great video work. If you don't follow Valor Media Network, you should. Great partners and organizers for this whole event. So solidarity events or watch the live stream. And oh, this is also what's coming next. This is also me. So make your voices heard. Yeah,
It's all you,
folks.
baby. It's a
Yeah.
well-oiled machine.
Thanks, Fred. The St. Louis guys are hanging in here together. Folks, this isn't the end, right? It's not over on Friday. It's not over on the 6th, right? Like um the work continues. Like there's a lot of vets on this call, a lot of people who've done organizing and activism before. And we all know that this thing is a slog, right? It's a marathon, it's not a sprint, right? And we know that. The organizers of this event know that. We're going to try and be staying in touch. So whether you can come to DC or not, whether you get to go to a solidarity event or not, we're going to continue to advocate. Some of the stuff that's going on, we've got a petition out there. Check it out on the website. Click the link, follow it. All this stuff will be in the emails afterwards, but sign that, right? The more numbers are on that thing when we deliver it to Congress, it matters. I'm telling you, it matters. We do this kind of thing, and big numbers with lots of vets, especially veterans and people who are supporting them, it matters a lot. So sign the petition, right? Call and meet with your elected officials. I shared with somebody earlier today, but we're going to pass around. We have a great leave behind. It makes it really, really easy for you to just send a note to your rep that says, hey, I was here, right? Just let them know. Let them know that you went to this thing, that you cared enough to show up on a specific day, right? On tea time and D-Day to make your voice heard. And that's all you have to say. You don't have to have anything else, right? And we're going to shed that around, but put your own story on it. Let them know why you marched, why did you show up, right? So yeah, let your elected officials know. Write a letter to your local paper. I am the LTE guy. I love letters to the editor, so do those. If you aren't sure how or you want some support, reach out to folks Chamberlain Network, organizer the event. We are happy to help you take care of those things, but they're incredibly impactful. Local news still matters. Volunteer in your community. We always love to ping these things, but get involved civically, right? Poll workers, election officials, all these kind of things. They're hurting for bodies, and they would love to have you. And we'd love to see veterans doing it. The call to continue to serve isn't just about showing up and advocating. It's making your community better, making it possible for people to vote. All those things that it takes to make democracy work. So there's a ton of stuff coming at you. There's going to be a bunch of other ways to get involved. We're still excited for Friday, but it's certainly not the end. All righty. And I think I am passing over to my friend. Is it Joe who's next?
I don't see Joe on here.
No, it's back to Will.
Yeah, back
to Will.
Will for the next slides. Everybody loves him. Take it away, Will.
No. All right. Well, I gotta get a new computer, Will. Okay, so we'll close this out here. It's been a really kind of fun half an hour talking with you all. We had some common themes in the chat here today about who's welcome, who's not welcome, and I just want to say this is a veterans event, veterans rally, but veterans serve the country, right? And we would love to see as many allies, non-veterans who can come as possible. So it's not a requirement that you are a veteran. We welcome everybody and anybody who wants to show up and share their pride. Also, just a note, please. Oh, I think I heard something out of Will.
Will's live.
Oh, you're. I wonder if there's a mic that's kind of picking up. Some other themes that we've gotten in email over the past few weeks and months is, we're using the Washington Monument iconography, and people are like, "Is it at the foot of the monument?" Please check the website for the exact location. All right, so where the 6th Street crosses over the Washington Monument, or the Washington Mall. The monument sits in the center of the National Mall. So just keep that in mind. We're going to be at 6th Street. It's going to be towards the Capitol. If you're looking at the monument and you look towards the big white building that's not the White House, just keep walking in that direction. That's going to be the best way. We're also going to have a series of, I know various organizations are doing happy hours afterwards. So if you are going to do an event, please let us know. We'd love to, try to make it if possible, or if it's an event we can facilitate, we'd love to join. Speaking of joining events, Pete mentioned, the next steps, and I've seen a lot of stuff on social media and in the emails that have come in about this is going to be a one and done. It's not going to do anything. We are the second half of this is going to be talking about what's next and where to go. So yes, the Chamberlain Network is one organization. There are many organizations on this call right now, and each one of us are part of the United for Veterans Coalition, who are going to be doing great work in the coming months. So with that, Will, do you want to try one more time, or are we calling it?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. No, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone spending the time this evening to talk about this incredible event that's about to happen. And thanks for everyone who's presented. And most importantly, people who took the time out of their day, right? Like people are hanging out. There's 200 something people on this call. Everyone's doing something very differently, but I go back to a moment in my life when I was in Iraq, and we were protecting a voting booth for the first time. The Iraqi soldier or Iraqi people got to have a democratic election, and we actually got on a firefight because we wanted to fight for these folks to be able to vote. One of the hardest parts of my life when I came home from the military is realizing the tools that we have in our democracy as Americans and the ability to present ourselves, to engage our government, and to make a difference. And I truly believe that this rally is going to do that. I believe that we are ready to show America that veterans are united and can come together and to defend the fight that the rights that we fought for a long time. So it's really important to remember that there's a lot of people in the world that wish we could be able to do what we're doing right now, coming together, creating a coalition, fighting for our rights. It's a big deal. It's why I fought for my country. And I know right now there's a lot of folks on this call who aren't veterans. And I think that's important because I remember coming home from Iraq and seeing a yellow sticker on people's cars, and it meant a lot to me. It meant that I was cared about. But one of the things that I really learned when I left the military and I became got into advocacy is that you don't have to wear a uniform to defend our country, right? So if you're someone out here listening and you're not a veteran, I'm so happy that you're here because you're doing something to fight for our institutions. The most important thing we can do to defend a democracy is protect institutions, and that's what we're doing today. So if you're not a veteran, I know all the veterans on the call, we get thanked for our service. I want to thank everyone on this call for their service. If you're not a veteran, because you're standing up and you're fighting for our country, our Constitution, and the United States that we believe in. So thank you so much for being here tonight.